Welcome to Amazing Top 5. Please drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Top 5's freakiest plants in the world. Number 5. Red tide. Drifting throughout the ocean, invisible to the naked eye, are innumerable microscopic algae. They come in many shapes and sizes, some geometrically beautiful, like the diatoms, and others, like the dinoflagellates, swim in a distinctive whirling pattern. These tiny algae are essential components to ocean life as they fuel the food web by harnessing light energy from the sun. But when supplied with excess nutrients, they can multiply uncontrollably, becoming an unwanted mass commonly called a red tide that smothers nearby ocean life. This massive growth of algae can become harmful to both the environment and humans, which is why scientists often refer to them as harmful algal blooms. When nutrients from inland areas flow down rivers and arrive in the ocean, they supply a nutritious feast for algae, causing them to rapidly grow. This can happen naturally as rivers flood and bring nutrient-rich soil from forests and grasslands, but it can also happen when fertilizer and excrement from livestock travel down those same waterways, or when coastal development leads to excess erosion. Some algae species color the ocean surface a deep red, inspiring the name red tide. But not all red tides are red, and not all of them even become dense enough to color the water. There are also brown tides which can be damaging as well. Humans are affected by the red tide species by ingesting improperly harvested shellfish, breathing in aerosolized brevet toxins, and in some cases skin contact. Some symptoms include drowsiness, diarrhea, nausea, loss of motor control, tingling, numbing or aching of extremities, incoherence, and respiratory paralysis. Number 4. The bleeding tooth fungus. Scientifically known as Hydnellum. The young bleeding tooth fungus's thick red fluid oozes through its tiny pores, creating the appearance of blood. The underside of the cap has tooth-like spines. As it matures, the mushroom's pale pink center becomes dark, almost black, in color. Spotted in Europe and North America's Pacific Northwest, the bleeding tooth fungus mainly resides among moss and pine needle litter in coniferous forests. The mushroom contains a tromentin, a chemical with effective antibacterial and anticoagulant properties. The colorful pigments are also used to dye fabrics. The bleeding tooth fungus is a mycorrhiza fungus, engaging in a symbiotic association with the roots of a vascular plant. The fungus receives fixed carbon from the host and, in return, improves the host plant's mineral absorption. Despite its horrific appearance, the mushroom isn't poisonous. We still wouldn't recommend eating it. The taste has been described as very bitter pepper. Number 3. The giant hogweed. This plant stands out. First of all, it's tall, growing to as high as 14 feet. It has dome-shaped clusters of white flowers as large as 30 inches across. If you're not sure, take a look at its stem. Giant hogweeds has purple splotches and coarse, white hairs. It often grows near streams, ponds, and other bodies of water. This isn't your average poisonous plant, in that you don't need to eat it for it to harm you. The plant's thin, clear sap contains compounds called furanocoumarins, which cause human skin to become extremely sensitive to sunlight. Once you've been exposed to it, you're in for the worst sunburn of your life, big, nasty blisters that leave bruise-like scars. And while it does get better, some of that photosensitivity sticks around for years. The plant's sap can also cause damage if it gets in your eyes, but reports of permanent blindness aren't well supported by scientific evidence so far. Right now, the plant has been discovered in New York, Ohio, Maryland, Washington, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Virginia, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Number 2. The angel's trumpet. All parts of the Brugmansia are poisonous. Exposure can cause paralysis, migraines, diarrhea, confusion, hallucinations, and death. Though people drink Brugmansia tea for its hallucinogenic properties, the effects of Brugmansia are unpleasant, and because a lot of different factors including hydration and time of the season can affect the concentration of the toxic alkaloids, it's almost impossible to determine a safe amount to consume. However, people still grow the plant for its medical benefits, including anesthetic and anti-asthmatic properties. We know that many toxic plants are safe to grow at home with precautions. Castor bean is a popular landscape plant. In fact, many of our most common houseplants are quite poisonous. As a precaution, you should keep pets away from plants, and wash your hands after handling cut stems. Number 1. The dragon's blood tree. Arguably the most famous and distinctive plant of the island of Socotra, The evocatively named dragon's blood tree has a unique and bizarre appearance, its upturned, densely packed crown having the shape of an upside-down umbrella. This evergreen species is named for its dark red resin, known as dragon's blood, a substance which has been highly prized since ancient times. The dragon's blood tree has been the major commercial source of this resin, and many myths surround the unusual trees. Like other monocotyledons, such as palms, the dragon's blood tree grows from the tip of the stem, with the long, stiff leaves borne in dense rosettes at the end. However, unlike many palms, the dragon's blood tree branches at maturity to produce the characteristic umbrella-shaped crown, with the leaves, which measure up to 60 cm long and 3 cm wide, remaining crowded at the branch tips. The trunk and branches are thick and stout, and show dichotomous branching, in which each branch repeatedly divides into two. Dragon's blood has been used for its antiviral and wound healing effects. Taspine, a component of dragon's blood, has been documented to have anti-inflammatory and wound healing actions. Taspine and a proanthocyanidin component also have been shown to have antiviral activities. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel.